Hello and welcome to the podcast about my upcoming book, Attempting Local. Attempting Local follows my journey as I explore Ireland, surf the waves of the North Atlantic, hike the country's rugged mountains, and travel throughout Europe, all while striving toward a master's degree. It's an extremely honest account of how tough it can be to leave everything behind and move abroad, though it simultaneously demonstrates the beauty of a life of solo travel. Are you a fan of Attempting Local? Make sure to tap that follow button if you listen on Spotify, subscribe if you're on Apple Podcasts, and follow at Attempting Local Podcast on Instagram and Facebook to stay updated on relevant info. If you're feeling extra sweet, leave an awesome review as well. Every little thing you do helps Attempting Local grow to inform and inspire more listeners. Now, enjoy the show. Episode number 13, Observations about Galway, Ireland. Entry number 9, January 16th, 2019, 143 days since moving to Galway. Entry title, Honest Observations and Things I Don't Want to Forget. Number 1, Climate. Usually cloudy, moderate temperature, rainy often, sun is a luxury, loads of moisture in the air. This is based on autumn and winter as compared to my lives in Michigan and North Carolina. Number 2, soccer, or football. Most love Liverpool, some Manchester United. Not quite sure why, but apparently, many Irishmen have played for Liverpool at some point. Went to 𝗠𝗨𝗥𝗢𝗄𝗏 once with an American friend, and everyone cheered like mad for Liverpool. Also, yes, many do call it soccer here. They have their own version of football. Number 3, Irish dating. It's weird and they seem to subscribe to dating practices from a bygone and timid era. Number 4, glass. You'll find broken glass on most streets, usually from students drinking beers while walking to the pub on a night out, then subsequently smashing them anywhere they please. Some streets and paths are notoriously worse than others. One will very often hear glasses break in pubs. Number 5, smoking. People smoke here more than we do in the States. Traditional cigs, that is. They roll their own because it's so much cheaper that way. Number 6, university. The facilities are decent enough, some nice, some severely outdated. Don't have the resources or high number of students as many do in the States. Irish students pay only a couple thousand for tuition, if that, a fraction of what we pay as internationals. No real varsity sports, only clubs, no intramurals. It's rare to see students enjoying the outdoors, and they definitely don't do it the same way Americans would. Though, I will amend that in April and May, many students were outside enjoying the unusually gorgeous weather. You'll never see a hammock on campus. There's seldom someone kicking a ball around, mostly due to the climate. Societies are countless and fairly popular. There's a bar on campus, which is fantastic and fantastically cheap. No one wears university apparel except for internationals, because we don't understand or commit to the custom of being too cool to represent one's university. Number 7, pubs. God, they do have the best pubs in the world. Many expand into large, unexpected beer gardens. They are often subdivided into many little rooms, sections, or booths. They aren't usually open floor plans. Guinness, Smithwick's, Heineken, Bulmers, Rockshore, Budweiser, Hop House, and others are standard on tap, and it varies little in most pubs. Some are more craft beer based, catering to non-traditional drinkers and hipsters like myself. Conversation is generally easy to find if you're looking for it. Local pubs are great for real cultural insights, but be warned, locals will notice you. Each pub has its own personality and plays a self-prescribed role in the community. Oh, and sometimes you'll run into a pub dog. These are my favorite dogs. Number 8, cafes. I love them almost as much as I love pubs. Just kidding, a bit more really. They're where I spend most of my time. They're similar to pubs in the sense that each has a valuable personality and important role to play. I bounce from one to another throughout the day to perform completely different tasks. An Americano would be the closest thing to your standard black coffee, unlike the filter coffee we Americans are used to. The second bit includes those aspects of Galway and Ireland that I'll miss the most. Number 1. Climate. Yeah, I know it seems contradictory, though I could do with less rain and more sun. I love how mild winter is. The main reason for my satisfaction is that the climate allows and even encourages me to run multiple times weekly. I love running, but I thought I was always bad at it since I wouldn't make it that far. Turns out, the climate is just shit most of the year in Michigan. Lastly, when it is nice here, or when I feel the warmth of the sun, it feels as if I've been lovingly embraced by some ethereal being that's been searching for me for months. Number 2. The city. I love not needing a car. Being in the city limits and within walking distance of everything is sweeter than sweets. Galway's undeniably cute, charming, individual. It's hugged by the sea, loved by relentlessly breaching sunsets and sunrises. The clouds only enhance them. Littered with impressive musicians, and it's a welcoming home to all. I will miss it. I've become familiar with most shops and pubs and eateries, and I seldom stroll without meeting a friendly face. There's much about this place that I adore, and it has made a deep, loving impression on my heart and soul. Number 3. Location. $40 flights to most cities in Europe? Enough said. Number 4. The music. Whether buskers or pub performers, they're all talented, gifted even, and it's all free. Hardly ever is a day I go without live music. Number 5. The people. This experience has introduced me to people I'm endlessly thankful to have met. I wouldn't ever take this experience back, not for all the money in the world, for fear I may not have met them again in other circumstances. Number 6. The landscapes. Hiking here has been a treat and a learning experience. Thanks to the Mountaineering Club, which I would recommend to anyone considering attending NUI Galway, I've witnessed parts of Ireland I never even knew existed. And the beauty of these places is tough to explain. I won't even try, just make sure to get out here and do some hiking. A quick side note, I do actually have a blog on my website, 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, that does describe what hiking in Ireland is like and actually provides tips as well. So if you want to check that out, just go to 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and look at my blog. Entry number 10, January 19th, 2019, 146 days since moving to Galway. Entry title, When One Door Closes. I cut off the girl that works at the bar. We'd gone on dates, I started to care for her, and I believe she for me. Still, something was off. I couldn't shake the feeling that no matter how much she enjoyed my company, if at all, she didn't want to. She hadn't met me by choice. She didn't come to Ireland to find me, especially not while attempting to experience a new life, new culture, and fresh perspectives. After a night out at her bar, it was all sealed shut for me. The feeling I couldn't rid materialized in a way I can't explain. I texted her that night listing off how we shouldn't talk, see each other, and that she should drop off the books I'd lent to her once she completed them. We could meet shortly, or I could pick them up. She was concerned she'd said or done something wrong, but it was precisely the opposite. She hadn't really done a whole lot. I swear it was so painfully obvious that it seemed as if she was just waiting for me to cut it off. If I told her off myself, she wouldn't even have to do the dirty work. Whether any of that's true or not isn't really of concern. She either liked me but felt she shouldn't, or she didn't like me at all. In either world, I couldn't have done anything to improve the situation. Her indifference drained me, sunk me. I hit the bottom of a turbulent sea, a specter of her past. The two of us ended up discussing the situation the next day, and we both agreed it was for the better if we didn't talk. Oddly enough, that culminated in a moment of relief. Rarely have I been so confused and hurt by a woman that I feel happy when the stress of that person is lifted. Entry number 11. January 21st, 2019, 148 days since moving to Galway. Entry title, Round. I keep on going round and round. Inside my head, I'm falling down. Until I simply write it down, I'm doomed forever, round and round. When you can't sleep, Remind yourself that you wanted grad school. You wanted to prove yourself. That was always meant to be the last of it. After this, do yourself a favor. Stop living to satisfy someone else's standards. It's time to practice that which you've so proudly preached. Travel into the unknown. But how? Suspend your fears. Entry number 12, January 23rd, 2019, 150 days since moving to Galway. I'm feeling burnt out. Galway is home now, no question. It's not weather or people or lack of creativity. I'm used to the rainy climate by now, though it's undoubtedly getting colder. I love being back with my friends, they're like family. I'm getting creative work done in my spare time, even if my output is waning quite rapidly. But this program is like a boxing match, and I've only survived 4 rounds. Getting back in the ring this semester is like willingly running my face into a fist. I hate research at times. I hate analytics at times. I just want to get out of a fucking class and dive into the real world. If anything, this program is making me hate digital marketing. I should have gotten a job first. Maybe I should have just stuck with the freelance wedding work. Basically, things are just getting really tough, and I want nothing more than to quit. It's hard to rationalize this anymore. Even one of the most intelligent women in my class feels off. Entry number 13, January 24th, 2019, 151 days since moving to Galway. At some point, it occurred to me, if I move back home, I'll be uprooting my life I've managed to construct here. I probably won't see these people again, at least not most of them. I know bartenders and baristas, they know my orders. My friends care more than I can even understand. Hey everyone, I'm Cullan. Thank you for listening to episode number 13 of my upcoming book, Attempting Local. Next week, we're going to be going over my 24th birthday, and that is an exciting episode. For now, episodes will be released every week, and I'll update you if that changes. This novel took over 2 years to create, from the idea's inception to editing this final version. The endeavor first required about 8 months of planning, applying, and test taking just to get accepted and then to prepare for university in Galway. I then worked through an arduous year-long accelerated master's program, all while traveling and experiencing the country, just to keep an entertaining and detailed, handwritten journal to share with others. Lastly, I had to transcribe all 4 physical journals onto my laptop, edit, re-edit, send to my editor Sarah, and send to publishers. And I'm still currently sending submissions in. This process has taken an immense amount of time and money, and I'm still working on the Attempting Local project. All I ask is, if you're passionate about this podcast, desire the information it provides, or just look forward to the fun listening experience that it offers, please go ahead and support it. Simply head to anchor.fm/Cullan-McNamara or visit patreon.com/CullanMac. Your help and support will go a long way in keeping this podcast up and running. You'll fuel my ability to create and share this beautiful and timely piece of work with all of you. And hopefully, one day, this will finally get published in print. So thank you again and enjoy listening to Attempting Local, a year abroad in Galway, Ireland.